Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another session with Be Money Wiser. And of course, like I always let you know, our aim as Be Money Wiser is to enable more and more people to make some with their money. So today we are going to have another topic which is really hot, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy the session today. So our agenda for today is going to be a bit precise. Hopefully, I'm hoping the discussion is not so lengthy, but we shall have an introduction, a prayer, highlights of the week, a mini recap from last week, and then we shall talk about a hot sizzling topic for today. And then you can ask a few questions, though many of which we shall handle as we go on through the week or as we respond to your comments. And then finally we shall close. So I'm hoping that we have a very informative and meaningful discussion today. So like I told you last week, we always try to see that we start these talks with a word of prayer. And allow me to lead you through one today. So, yeah, humble yourselves wherever you are. Okay, thank you. Oh God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for today. We thank you for the gift of life and for the protection that you've given us all to be able to engage in this interaction today. I pray that our discussion today may be meaningful and may enable us to make major changes in our lives such that we can enjoy the life that you gave us to enjoy, a very fruitful, happy, and meaningful life. And we ask all this through Jesus Christ, your Son. Amen. Okay. Now, of course, a lot has happened this week. I'll start with the major, most important aspect to me, which is the resignation of my assistant, Polly. And she talked to me this week, and she would like to stop being in Be Money Wiser full time. I'm really hoping that she'll be able to be in touch and keep following, but she'll not be able to be with us full time because she's moving on to start something different for her life. And hopefully, as we go on with our discussions, she'll be updating us with how everything is going. I can see she's also following. Thank you, Polly, Herbert, Peter, and Moses. Thank you for joining us today. And Kabahweza, thank you for keeping time. Yes, that's good. Becky, thank you for following. Okay, so Polly has left Be Money Wiser from the permanent perspective. And I am hoping that all goes well with her plans. But I am so grateful for the time that she has been here, because she has many things in order. I cannot even break it down, but I believe the next step will be meaningful. So Polly, I'm still grateful for the period we've had together, and I'm hoping that all goes well as you move on. Okay, now we have all heard about the KCCA reshuffles and the changes in URA. Basically, a lot of things are changing in government. I'm hoping that all will go well. And for those whose jobs are on the line because of this, let us embrace the change and see what else we can do in our lives, or hopefully continue serving the government. Otherwise, we're looking forward to see the impact of these changes. And like life is generally, we need to embrace change. And of course, we emphasized this last week as we were looking at the book called Restructuring. These are some of the things. Restructuring is becoming real. Okay. Then on Saturday, that's yesterday, I attended a scientific wedding, which was awesome. My friend Faith got married to an awesome guy. And I'm hoping that they enjoy their time together going forward. It was really beautiful. It was precise. It was money wiser. And I was so glad, and I'm hoping all goes well for them. May God bless them on this journey. Then on Wednesday this week, I had a session with Capital Markets Authority, of Kenya. And I thank Conrad and Sam for the brilliant discussion that they had. And I'm hoping more and more East Africans can be empowered from this discussion. And hopefully more and more regulators in their various capacities can engage the public and help them to understand their role and also how they can continue to benefit from the financial sector. So don't be worried, don't be afraid because of all this happening with the COVID mix. I think our regulators have our back and we can always rely on a sound financial system. Then finally, Tuesday was Heroes Day. Yes, Uganda was celebrating Heroes Day, and it's also a significant event. But of course, for you as an individual, you also have to use such moments to think about the heroes in your life, and also who are you being a hero to with the decisions that you're making in your life and with your money. But on the same day, it was also my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Dorothy, once again. It was a very beautiful day, and I thank God for her every day. It was also my friend Peter's wedding anniversary. Basically, God has been good, and we really thank God for that. So we can have a bit of a recap from last week where we're talking about the kinds of businesses happening in East Africa, which is really something, it's a broad topic that you cannot really break down in 1 hour. And I like the fact that more and more Ugandans are carrying out this discussion. So much as we looked at a few examples that people can look out for, just a reminder, always endeavor to start small within your means. And of course, some people's means are bigger than others, but start small so that you can evaluate the market, evaluate the options before you dive in and make big mistakes with your money. So try to start small, try to do your research. We emphasized the detail of research. And then as you're monitoring this business and it's growing, you can look at other things like borrowing, etc. But monitor to see that your interests are protected in that business and that you continue to make more and more out of that financial decision. And of course, we ended by emphasizing the book Restructuring by JK. She's an advisor with Bemw, and she's also a very, very knowledgeable practitioner in the human resource field. She has done a lot of work in restructuring organizations. So if you're really struggling to see the way forward for your organization, this is the best person to talk to. However, the book would also be an easier avenue for you to see how best you can work around improving the processes in your organization so that you survive, ultimately thrive, which is something that we're emphasizing last week. So Darius, thank you for joining. Sibia, I can see you. Yusuf, I'm glad that you could make it. Okay. So yes, Restructuring is a good book. And last week there were a lot of questions about what is the cost of the book. Uganda shillings 50,000. Just send us a message and we shall follow up to see that you get a copy of that book. And you basically see how to handle life after COVID or life during the COVID mix. Okay, so this brings us to our topic for today. Now, today we're going to talk about the word that will save your life and help you thrive. So last week we were talking about survive and thrive. Today we are saying, what is that word that will change your life, that will enable you to save yourself? Basically, you're saving yourself with this word, but ultimately you are able to thrive. And when we are talking about thriving with Be Money Wiser, I know our name is Be Money Wiser, but it does not make sense to us for you to prosper via money and the rest of your life is crumbling. So much as we are talking about Be Money Wiser, we want you to thrive via financial issues, but in the rest of your life too. But we shall see something more when it comes to this topic. So about that word that will change your life. And I'm hoping that by the end of our discussion today, you'll be able to share with me the aspect of your life that needs this word more. Are we together? The aspect of your life that you see is really shaky because you're not maximizing the usage of this word. Does that make sense? Okay, let us carry on with the discussion and you'll tell me. Now, the advantage of this word is that it will help you get your life back in order. Your life back in order. Those small things you've been doing wrong, you will get them back in order when you start using this word in your life. Then, it will boost your confidence. We want you to be confident people. All of you were put here on earth by God because you have an ability, you have a means of transforming something on this planet. So why are you conforming? Why are you conforming to the standards of other people? Why are you conforming to the standards of this world instead of transforming through that ability that God gave you? So it is time for you to boost your confidence and know that you can be a hero to someone. Even if it is a hero to your children, it makes a big step. Are we together? Then, this word will provide you a fast track, stepping stone to discipline. And you know, much as I talk about money and financial discipline, we also need to look at our discipline in other aspects of life. So this word will enable you to tighten on those aspects that require more discipline in your life. Now, this word will also give you time to think through decisions, to observe and be keen before you act upon something. So this is the word that is going to enable you to do that. And then the advantage of this word, the other advantage of this word, it will help you sieve through the people in your life. Some of you carry everyone along as you move on. And at the end of it all, you can't tell who is the burden that is weighing you down or who is the person that is uplifting you up. But with this word, you'll be able to sieve through all those uncertainties in your life and the people in your life. We want you to have quality people in your life, not just everyone and anyone. Are we together? Okay. Then it will give you a strong backbone to withstand anything, regardless of the offer. So most of us go. Any offer you receive, you run. Any offer you get, you go. But with this word, you'll be able to sieve through things and say, for that one, yes, it's a good opportunity, but not now. I am not able to make it, or one issue or another. So it will give you a backbone. You need to have a backbone. You can't be there when everything that's presented to you goes. You have to have some level of, it's related to confidence, but you need to have your backbone to say that, okay, I want to do this, or I do not want to do this. Then, of course, this word will transform your life and it will help you thrive, which is our topic for today. It will transform your life and enable you to thrive. And I don't know who can guess that word. Can someone try to guess that word in the comments? And then we see if we can carry on with this discussion. Come on, someone. What word is that? One word. It's a two-lettered word. That's a clue. It's a two-lettered word that can enable you to transform your life. Becky, you're waiting to hear it. First, try guessing. At least try. What is that two-lettered word? Only two letters that can transform your life. And today we are going to see how. Okay, it's fine. Let me tell you. So guys, I can see Peter has tried me. No, it's not me. But I can let you know right now that the word is no. The same way I have told Peter, no, it is not the word. But yes, the word is no. Are we together? As simple as that. No. But we are going to see how best to use this word in our lives. Now, I'll share with you a story. When I was a kid, I can see Sylvia said go, close, but replace the end there so that we can see the word for today. No. Okay, guys. Now, yes, we are going to see how this can transform our lives. I'll share with you a story. When I was a child, okay, young child, like in primary school, that's around 6 to around 14 years old. You guys, I was a very, okay, I do not want to call it principle, because at that time I didn't understand the word principle, but I was as blunt as yes and no. That's how my life was. And I would give an example of my mom. She would tell us, you guys, today, so and so, I want you to do this. You, I want you to do this. You, I want you to do this. So she would give us a whole list of things to do. And I would look at this list and tell her that, you know what? This I will do. But for this one, I will not be able to do. Because I would think through the time I had from morning till evening to do this whole list of things she has given us to do. And I really couldn't see how I would do that last thing. And my mom hated that a lot. She would get so pissed and say that, but you girl, you don't want to listen to what I'm telling you. But you guys, I couldn't see how I would commit to something I would not do. So I would tell her straight up that no, I'll not be able to do this. And she would make a lot of, grill me thoroughly. But at the end of it all, I would do the whole list of the things I told her I would do. And this other one, I would do it the following day. But on the other hand, I had my siblings. My siblings, even if you gave them a list of 100 things to do, they would say, oh yes, what else do you want me to do? Oh yeah, we shall do that, we shall do this. And when she comes back in the evening, they have not touched even one thing that she had told them to do. But I used to wonder why she would get so annoyed with me, and yet these are the guys not even doing the things that she had asked them to do. So it was also a question mark in my life since when I was young, that now surely, what is the best way of handling life with these circumstances? And ladies and gentlemen, as I speak today, I am very sure that at the end of our discussion, you can tell me whether I was right or I was wrong. However, it is key for you to commit to only the things that you believe you will do, and you ultimately do them to the best of your ability. Now, for the things that you cannot do, plan for them. Don't overweigh yourself down, but plan for them so that you are able to do them to the best of your ability. And that is the challenge that we are having in our lives. But we shall see more as we go on with the discussion. Now, recently, about a few months, that was last year, mid last year, I applied for a US visa. I wanted to go to the US, I wanted to do some things. I did not get the visa. Now, that no was so significant in my life because I thought it was obvious. I thought that, yeah, look at all the countries I have been to, look at all the, it will be obvious for me to get a US visa. But there's a guy I found at the embassy. He bluntly told me no. But that no transformed my life, because it made me be a little bit more thorough every time I am applying for any visa. Not to take things for granted, thinking that it is obvious. Who told you it is obvious? Some of us go for interviews, job interviews, and you think it is obvious. Some of us, like the incident that happened at Sanyo FM, I don't have the facts really, but going to your boss and telling them that, you know what? If you don't do this, and this, I will quit. It is not obvious that your boss will say that, okay, fine. Do you know how many people in Uganda are anxious to get that same job that you have? Now, this radio station, before they knew it, the guy had replaced all of them. It was actually an outstanding or remarkable situation, but it can happen. Mohammed, thank you for joining us. William, thank you for joining. Okay, so we should not take anything for granted. And that no that I received enabled the US Embassy to uphold their standards, but it also enabled me to up my game. So how is the no in your life transforming your life? We're going to talk more about this. So as we discuss, we are going to look at a few aspects in our lives that we can apply this. I'm going to categorize them into 3 major aspects that you can look into. And as we discuss, think about your life and think about how you can up your game and improve on the way you approach some of these scenarios in your life. Rosette, thank you for joining. Okay, now, even as I move into these aspects, I would like each of you to ask yourself a question. And at the end of this discussion, give me an answer to that question. Ask yourself a question that how many times, do you remember an incident in your life where you said yes, but now you're actually thinking it through and you're like, I should have said no. Are we together? Think about an incident in your life where you said yes, but now after our discussion, you're like, nah, here, I should be saying more no's here. I should pile up the no's here so that I am able to transform this part of my life. Are we together? So we're going to look at 3 broad scenarios, and I'm hoping that by the end of our discussion, you're going to make it a key deliberate decision to make no a skill. Make it part of your life. It's a skill to say no, by the way. You say no boldly and you mean it. But ultimately, you're able to achieve and also teach the other person a lesson on how they too can achieve. Are we together? Now, the first no I'm going to talk about is going to be linked to what we talked about last week, and that is the no in your business or your investment. Now, most bosses tolerate too much. And someone once said that there is nothing as bad as a good employee, whereby a good employee is a person who you cannot tell whether they are doing the right thing, you cannot tell if they are doing the wrong thing, but they are good. They are good. And you cannot even tell how they are transforming your business, but they are good. Ladies and gentlemen, goodness of an employee is determined by the output that they put in your organization. How are these people contributing to your organization? What is their workmanship like? Do they have a good work ethic? Are they delivering results? Do they have good customer care? Actually, the issue of customer care bugs me a lot in so many businesses in Uganda. An employee who cannot value the strategic direction of the organization is a question mark. So these are the people you need to sit down, evaluate the situation, and help them try to work in line with the ethic that you expect in that organization. So I'm saying the key point here is you're saying no to poor workmanship. I see so many organizations with CEOs that are up at the top and they do not know what is happening down here with how your employees are interacting with the public. And that is where your mandate starts from. If your employees are able to do a good job with interacting with the public, then it reflects positively on you as the CEO of that organization. So say no to poor workmanship. Even if someone is the lowest rank in your organization, they should uphold the strategic direction of that organization. Every day, for example, maybe a cleaner comes to put the office straight. They should visualize that when clients come into this office, they should find the place clean and neat. For an employee who may not appreciate this, there is a big question mark. And in this era, you guys, in this era that we are going through, where there's going to be a lot of restructuring, this is not an attitude to uphold. So it also goes back to people who are working for others. You have to always put in maximum effort and be able to uphold the strategic direction of your organization. So you're saying no to poor workmanship. You're also saying no to operating at a loss. If you see you're struggling, business eganye, you've tried, you've changed this, you've improved that, you can start by looking at other options. Under restructuring, they talk about mergers. You can be similar businesses, but you pull resources together for you to be able to survive. Try that. Other organizations downsize and they say, you know what, you guys, we can no longer afford to pay all of you. So from today, we're going to have this number. But for the rest of you, we have not forgotten you. We can give you a small package to survive, but we cannot sustain having all of you here. That is restructuring. You're looking at the need of your employee while preserving the mandate of your organization. Then, of course, you've heard of these cases happening lately. Zero tolerance to corruption. There's a lot of changes happening in organizations. Well, guys, those are changes whereby you say, no, this is enough. We cannot have this anymore. We cannot have organizations having X budget but delivering quarter of it, and yet there is no balance of the money to show that, you know, this is the balance from the little that we did. So it had I think reached a peak maybe. And you reach a point and you're like, you know what, some changes have to take place here. Let me restructure a bit, and then we see if those remaining will be wiser. You'll be wiser if you've survived and you try to ultimately meet the strategic direction of your organization. Now, also linked to investment, you can say no to the risk involved in your investment. That saying no gives you some level of peace of mind, whereby you're like, you know what, I know Sivyangu, but whatever challenge my business may face, let me try to be a little bit vigilant, a little bit careful, so that I do not face unnecessary risk. That's where our friends of insurance help us, and also that's where the aspect of risk management helps us, which is actually a key topic for us at Bemw, and we try a lot to empower organizations and institutions to understand the risks involved in your operation, so that you make a sound decision to see that you can manage this risk. So you're saying no to that level of uncertainty, and you decide that, you know what, for my investment to be protected, for my business to be protected, let me take up some insurance. Sometime in the future, we shall have this as a standalone topic. But for now, just say no to the risk and visit the various insurance service providers so that you can understand the options that they have for you, and you're able to take on an insurance product that can protect you. Or you can call us, call Bemw, so that we enable you to understand the aspect of risk management, so that you can get on to improve the various aspects of your business. But you're saying no to the risk that after I have put in all this effort, all this money, all these years, how can I go back to zero? Insure. And on that point, I'm going to tell you a story about the Wimbledon. Have you heard of the Wimbledon? This is a tournament that's held in England, in the UK, and it's a lawn tennis tournament. Now, at this tournament, it takes a period of time, and as the games go on, there are ticket sales for this tournament. So you find that more and more people, as more and more people buy tickets, they earn a lot of money. And for the past 17 years, the organizers of this tournament, they are called the All England Lawn Tennis Association. The organizers of this tournament try to insure. They take on an insurance product. Now, this product is called the Pandemic Insurance Cover. I don't know which insurance firm in Uganda has that, but the Pandemic Insurance Cover. For the past 17 years, they have taken on that insurance, such that in the event that this tournament cannot take place at any one time over the years, they are compensated, at least to an extent, of the losses that they would make. Now, this is a tournament where they earn, you know, those figures are insane. I think they're even bigger than the budget of our country, but on one season of the tournament, they can earn over $314 million. But you find that in the event a pandemic of some sort does not enable them to do their core business, which is selling tickets, and people cannot come in, that would be a serious pandemic and a serious blow on their business. They took on an insurance cover. Now, for that insurance cover, they were paying $2 million every year. Now, I hear so many Ugandans saying that, but if I take on a product and nothing happens in this year, then what? I have made a loss. You guys, it's not a loss. It is that assurance that at least nothing happened. But in case something had happened, I have been protected. So these guys take on an insurance product of over $2 million. every year. Now they have done that for over 17 years, which is a total of 34 million that they have been paying all these years. And then coronavirus came up. COVID-19 came up. And these guys, of course, couldn't hold their tournament this year. Now, I think as of June this year, they're supposed to get a payout of over $141 million. Of course, it's not as much as they normally make out of this tournament, but they are going to get something back. And that is the beauty of insurance. Most of the other sports associations got a blow with this because they couldn't understand that how could these guys be this conscious? It takes a no. You say no to anything that may stop you from achieving your ultimate objective. So you can approach us to be able to explain to you deeper how risk management can be integrated into your business, integrated into your company, your organization, so that you can make sound decisions that can enable you to thrive, even as you are trying to survive in your operations. So that was just one example, and you can also think about that. But now this no goes back to also the individuals working for other people, the individuals working in different organizations, businesses, institutions. You need to say no to that poor work ethic, issues to do with timekeeping, issues to do with being decent. There are organizations that are so keen, so clear that, you know what, for someone to work in this organization, you need to be dressed like this, you need to be in a suit, you need to be in these colors, etc. Conform, because that is what you're expected to do as long as you're working in that institution. So are you having a good work ethic that can uphold that institution? Are you working hard? I know it is not your company. You know, some people keep whining that I'm making a lot of money for my boss, but my boss, etc. Yes, it's their company. And they gave you a contract which you accepted to do the work. Do the work to the best of your ability. Say no to these behaviors that push you away from ultimately reaching the objective of that organization. So say no, still under poor work ethic, to corruption. But this is on a personal note, because much as a lot can be said out there, you are still accountable as an individual. So you need to say no to such practices that derail you from the normal way of doing things. Okay, it may, I don't know what is the normal way anymore, but no to corruption. Then, no to peer pressure. Some of you conform to the pressure of your colleagues. Like, for example, the issue of corruption. If all your colleagues are corrupt, it does not mean you need to dive in and be corrupt together. Set your standards. Say no to those behaviors that derail you from being the human being, as in being the being that God created you to be. Outstanding, transforming, and living life to your full potential. So say no to peer pressure to do certain things that derail you from being the best you can be. And then you just need to remember that when you set a price, every time you know which things to say no to and which ones to do, you are actually setting your standard. Are we together? If you're saying yes, yes, yes to everything, guys, what is your standard? But when you learn to say no to certain things, these are the things you hear that, for that deal, she will not come. You know, because they know that you will not go for such an activity. So what is your standard? Or are you the person who everything that comes along, people are like, chikola. Okay, that's Luganda for. She will do that. He will do that. You know, set your standard. So that when you say no, people know that. Like, for example, my case, right now I am having my baby who is around 2.5 months old. But I can tell guys that, no, I cannot come for that meeting. I cannot come for, you know, whatever that is. Because I am looking after my baby. You know, that kind of thing. But then also, of course, that's the right thing to do. But there are also situations whereby no seems harder for you to do because it looks like it is not really that easy. And we are going to see some more scenarios where that happens. Now, even as you're saying no, you need to say no wiser. You know, with Be Money Wiser, we want all your decisions to be a little bit wiser. Much as I am saying no, I will not be able to do this, and this, I do not just throw the no in your face. I will marinate it a bit and show you that, you know what, I have a lot that I'm doing right now, so I'll not be able to do that now. But maybe you can remind me next week, or you can remind me in 2 weeks' time. Now, you're passing back the burden to that person to be able to remind you and see if you can accomplish whatever they are asking for. So say your no a little bit wiser. Say your no wiser so that you keep the rapport with this person, but you preserve yourself. Which brings us to the second aspect. Now, the first aspect I have gone through is no in your business. I've tried to touch so many things, so I'm hoping you're taking notes, you guys. And right now, we're going to move on to the second aspect, which is a big problem in Uganda, but I'm hoping we shall learn from ourselves. Now, no at this point is no in your relationships. And by relationships, I'm looking at your family, children, friends, and relatives. I've tried to clump all of them together, so the topic, this section is a bit broad, but I'm going to touch a bit so that at least you take back something you can think about for your life. And remember the question I asked you at the beginning. Which aspects of your life do you feel you're saying yes so much, but you have to pull back a bit and have a bit of no's, so that the no helps you improve that part of your life? Okay, so now, no in your relationships. I'm going to start with your children. Some of us parents are yes parents. Everything your child whines about, you're like, oh yes, you go and do this. Oh yes, do this, do that, do this. We are now going to learn how to say no at the right time. And no wiser. I know so many Ugandan parents have got this over time. They easily say no when a kid asks for something. No, I don't have money, I cannot buy that. That comes very easily. But then there are things like, let me say, your child enjoys eating sweets every day. And you see that really, oh, this guy enjoys sweets so much. Once in a while, say no. Start saying no so that you save the guy's teeth. Otherwise, who is the guide at that point? So we need to learn how to say no to our children. No to any sign that this child is not following up to be the model kid that you would like them to be. Alan, thank you for joining. Now, there are aspects like lack of respect. When your child says anything that is not right to any adult, and I mean any adult, it can be the house help, someone helping you at home. If your child is rude to that person, who is going to look after them? The moment you sense anything that is amiss with this kid, say no immediately. And you know, in Uganda, thank God, our laws, in spite of the fact that our kids' Black Lives Matter, our laws allow us to be. Yes, and I encourage beating, not torture. I've also seen some cases of torture where someone is so annoyed and they beat this kid to pulp. No. Beat this child, but you only beat when the act is really bad. So that it hits, every time you hit it, no, 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 no. I should not see that happen again. Me, I'm an advocate of beating. I don't know, but I am an advocate. But when I sit down my kids after the incident, just to evaluate the situation, they are like, but like recently, my child had his birthday. I sat him down. I wanted to evaluate how is he finding life, things of the sort. Then I asked him, do I beat you a lot? And he was like, but you know, mommy, you beat me when I've done something wrong, which I think is okay. And that statement touched me so much because I thought he was going to whine and, you know, make a lot of noise. But these kids also say these things. And they know that by the time you make that act, it is really serious. And you do not expect him to do that again. So say no to your children sometime so that you mold them into the person that you would like. Okay, maybe the person that you would like other people to interact with. Otherwise, the world will say no to them if you do not do it now. Then no to your friends. Some of us have a bunch of friends. You know, with this business of being money wiser, you somehow cut out a number of friends, especially friends who are not developmental. I know sometimes we handle being continuing to interact with people, but you reach a point whereby you need to align your life. If your friends are giving you advice that is derailing your life, you guys, it is tough, but you need to cut such relations. And you find that sometimes it's not really cutting, but you minimize the time that you spend with these people so that they do not over intoxicate your life with their funny habits, maybe. So, for example, if your friends are telling you, you know what, don't worry about your family, let us stay out late, things of that sort, you can do that once in a while. But if this is a pattern, if this is a routine, if this is normal in their lives, think twice. And of course, you do not tell them that, no, you guys are derailing me. You guys are not focused. You guys are not, no. You just tell them, you know what, guys, today I can't make it. You know what, guys, today I would rather stay with my family today. Or today I have an activity I'm going to do with my child. Today I have, actually with no, you do not even need an explanation. You just say, I cannot be there. I cannot make it. I cannot be involved in that. Things of that sort. Because you are taking back your time. You are taking back your life. Every time you say yes, 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 yes to everyone and every activity that comes up, you are cutting on your personal time. You are cutting on time for your family. You are cutting on time that you would use to build other aspects of your life. So think twice before you say yes to everything and anything that comes up. So learn to say no to some of your friends' proposals. Then there is no to dependence. Now this is a big problem when you talk about money. It is so hard when you know that most of your dependents depend on you for money. So it is so hard to tell them no. They call you from the village, oh, my child has been chased from school, send me some, maybe 200,000 shillings to clear their fees. But you know very well that the same person calling you spends half of the day drinking, or half of the time not maximizing the time that they themselves have. And now their responsibility is being put on you. Of course, we have other dependents that really need our support. Some of them are in rural areas. But now, this is an example I give in most of the talks that I have. We then go ahead and go to the village. Because we feel we are yes people, we want to help. You bring this to your home, your family itself cannot fit in your home. Now you're bringing the dependents to your home. After bringing them to your home, let me say it's a child and you're going to pay for them school fees. You start paying for that child school fees in a school that is a lower standard than your children's school. Because you can't afford to pay for them the same way you pay for your kids. But now these children grow up and they feel discriminated. They feel that, oh yeah, much as you looked after me, you still gave me the crumbs. You still gave me the bare minimum. And I hear so many people complaining that I looked after this person, but the person does not appreciate, he did not what, and he does not even care about us anymore. Over time, these kids actually look at it as it was not fair. But now when you're saying no, now here is the wiser no to that situation. You leave your relatives in the village. Because that is where you can afford to look after them on top of your family. If it means school fees, sending school fees to the village is way cheaper and it's very achievable for you. If it means sending money for upkeep, it is way affordable for you because even in the village they have food, they have their families that they can be with, but you are supporting them in their circumstances. And when you do that, you're also preserving your money to an extent so that you can give your family the life that you're working hard for. At the end of it all, you're working hard for your family, not so. You're not working hard for who, so and so and so and so. No, but you can help them wiser. You can help them in such a way that you can afford. Are we together? So don't make it seem like everybody else's life is your mandate or your key purpose for life. Nope. It is you and your family. And we are going to see how no can help you tighten this. So look after your relatives where they are. Now, still about saying no, I'm going to talk to the guys that are listening in, especially guys when they are dating. They are yes guys. Oh, I want to go here, yes. Oh, I want to do this shopping, yes. Oh, I want to do this, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Now, all those yeses that you've given this lady after dating, now graduate into yes during marriage. This is a yes. This is yes, yes, yes. But every time you're telling that lady yes, you are creating a big problem. I'm told time is almost up, but let's see how to wrap this up. So every time you're saying yes, you are creating a problem in this lady's life, because she's living with the mentality that you can actually solve anything and everything on the planet. Then after that, you guys come to us and start saying, now you see, I do not know if I can afford this. I do not know if I can manage it. But it is the yeses that you fail to control that have created that problem. Now, how do we solve that? You go back and start carefully replacing the yeses with a no. And when you say no, you say it and mean it. Whereby someone comes to you and say, oh, we need to go shopping. And like, you know what? For this month, we are a bit tight. And I think we can do the shopping next month. Let's plan for it. How much does it take? I'll budget for it if I can afford. Or someone tells you, oh, let us eat out today, tomorrow, the other day. You're like, you know what? We can eat out like once a month. But if I'm to do this daily, it will not be possible for me. Okay, now I'm sounding like a relationship advisor. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that let us try to use the no's right in our lives. And for the guys, don't misuse the no. There are guys who use no and take it to the next level. Someone tells you, oh, electricity is done. No, not you figure it out. Let us try to survive without this. It is your responsibility. Try to see that some of these utilities, you know, what is needed for your family is taken care of before you throw the no around. Now, I would go on to issues to do with the women. I think let me also come to you, the women. Women tolerate so much. Women. Everything you say yes to when the relationship is starting will be a yes throughout that relationship or for the longer haul of that relationship. If you're disrespected in any way and you tolerate it, it will be the no. So that is why I was telling you, what are your standards, you as a person? What are your standards? What are the things that you cannot accept to go below? Whereby, if, let me say, someone treats you in a certain way that you feel that, this is not how I should be treated, say no to it. And be firm and be clear that this is a no. Are we together? Then also, you yourselves, ladies, need to say no to some of these decisions that you make that may derail you from making sound decisions to the detriment of you and your family. But also, it's basically learn to be treated the way you would want to be treated. Because being money wiser is for you to thrive on this planet. It's not for you to say, oh, I'm surviving. They ask you, how is the family? We are surviving. How is that? We shall see. No, you guys, you're supposed to thrive. You're supposed to enjoy every aspect of your life, of your relationships, of your family, etc., etc. I like the fact that last year, for the last talk that I had via relationships, there's a group of ladies that called me for what we call in Uganda the bridal shower. So this lady was, things of that sort. She was getting married and she called me. Now imagine someone calls you for a bridal shower, but on that same bridal shower, you ladies, you know these things, especially the married ladies. They also call a singer to come and talk about things to do and all that. Now, I was going to talk about financial issues and to see how the bride can prepare for the financial decision making that she'll have in her relationship. So the singer spoke first. spoke. They argued, etc. Then I came up, talked my things, did our activities, tried to keep it brief because time was, not on our side. But what touched me so much after that interaction was the fact that the bride called me a couple of days later and she told me, you know what, I can't thank you enough for the time that we had at that bridal shower, because what we had discussed stood out for her and she felt that it was going to transform her marriage, which is something that meant so much to me. And I was so glad that much as the meeting was late, I decided, let me say yes to this and go and see how I can help this lady. And I was so pleased to see that it was meaningful. So guys, when we say no and setting your standards in a relationship, it is something meaningful and something that you can think about as you plan for your life. Now, even as a couple, if you're in a relationship, there are moments where you have to say no to things that you would have said yes to. And where you also have to say yes to things that you would have said no to, just to enable the other person to also thrive. Remember, when you're in a relationship, it's about respect. You have to respect each other. You have to love each other. You have to trust each other. And ultimately, you compromise for each other. So you find that at some point, I'll give my husband as an example. He doesn't like fried chicken. I like fried chicken. So I can say, today we are eating fried chicken. And then he's like, no, that is junk. I don't want us to eat junk. But once in a while, he buys me fried chicken. He brings me fried chicken. And he's like, okay, you know what? Here is fried chicken for you guys. And it means a lot to me because I love fried chicken. But now on the other side, he loves drinking. Okay, yeah, the Muslims, when you say, yeah, but he likes drinking. And if he wants to drink his... What are those drinks? Johnny Walker. If he wants to drink his drink, why not? Let him take it, because that is what he wants to do. And as long as he takes it in moderation and it makes his life, I don't know how it impacts his life, but it makes him happier, a happier person. Why not? Take your drink, as long as you're doing it responsibly and you're drinking the right things. Because I also want you to have some level of, standards in everything that you're doing. So why not? But you find that because I don't like drinking, and it is, I will try to impose myself on the other person. That no, that drinking, it is, but you are making the other person's life uncomfortable. It is his life and he wants to do it. And as long as he wants to do it responsibly and openly, when you can see it, instead of, creating other ways of hiding from you while they are doing these things, try to to compromise. And understand that this is something the other person wants to do. So much as I can say, yes, you can take your double black or you can drink this or that, it would have been a no in my life because I don't drink it, but it's a yes for him. Why not? Let him do it. And it also happens the other way around for me. So as we learn how to say no and yes systematically in our relationships, we can enable each other to thrive. And you never know. After some time, he may say that, you know what? To hell with this drinking, let us eat fried chicken. Why not? Hopefully, that could happen. So let us try to thrive as we interact with each other. Now, I'll end with the third aspect, which is no to yourself. No to you. Remember, we've talked about no in our businesses and our investments. We have talked about no in our relationships. And now we're going to talk about no to you. And remember, in our relationships, the more we learn how to say no at the right time, is the more we shall also be able to manage our financial situation well. Because you will not have, let me say, a situation whereby a spouse is maybe spending so much over and beyond what is expected, given the money that you have at your disposal. So you'll be able to manage the situation and spend on things that really are necessary. Are we together? Yeah, so now let's talk about no to yourself. Now, when we're looking at no to yourself, Most cases, let me say, for the ladies, we like buying things on impulse. You see a nice dress, shoes, etc. We just want to buy it. But we are going to learn how to say no to ourselves. You think about your plans, you think about your financial position, and you're like, you know what? No, let me not spend on this for now. Or, for my case, the example I gave you, eating fried chicken, yes. I would have wanted to eat it, but you say no once in a while, so that you eat it once in a while. And you do not make this a habit, so that you get to preserve your life and yourself. So you can also say no to unwise spending. We talked about spending in our talk last month, but you need to spend wiser. And for you to spend wiser, it takes a lot of no's. No. For even the things you really want, even the things you think that all these things are necessary, you learn how to say no. So let us be mindful and spend wisely while saying no to the things that we do not really need. Then borrowing unnecessarily, learn how to say no to borrowing unnecessarily so that you live within your means. If things are tight, actually borrowing unnecessarily also reflects on some countries. But anyway, to live within your means. If you know that your sources of income cannot sustain you, even for your life, and also for you to be able to pay back debt, try to minimize. Try to lower a bit the scope of your needs so that you survive. And when the situation stabilizes, you can now say yes to more things in your life. Then say no to tolerating disrespect. Every human being, I think I posted one of our Be Money Wiser, one of the number 5 of the 100 ways to be money wiser, where we are emphasizing everyone deserves to have respect. Everyone needs to be respected. And in case you're disrespected, you need to stand up and say no, regardless of who it is. It doesn't matter who that person is in your life. As long as you are disrespected, say no to such things. I see Yusuf, you have been a coward to use no. You need to tighten, to strengthen, and be able to say no to some of these things that may derail you. Are we together? Then Paul, you have shared about no to dependence. Yes, it's tight, but you'll be able to do this over time. Start with the small no's, and before you know it, you'll start making it as a conscious decision that for this I cannot manage, therefore no. Are we together? And sometimes the no is as simple as, let me say, help me with 100,000 shillings. And you say, you know what, I don't have 100,000 shillings to give you, but you start from here. And you give the person 20,000 or 10,000. That is a marinated no, if I may call it. It's a no, but you have done it wiser. Are we together? So you don't have to solve everyone's problem, but you can contribute something small that you can manage for them to solve their situation. So, like I said, do not tolerate any disrespect. Every person needs to be respected. And disrespect is thrown out of your life the first time you hear it. Don't tolerate today, tomorrow. Otherwise, it's becoming a habit, and more people will be taking you for granted. Now, as we end our talk today, remember that saying no is like, for some of you who bake, you've seen how they put baking powder in cake. It's something really small. They put a small tablespoon in all this chunk of ingredients as they are baking. But ultimately, without that baking powder, the cake may not come out looking as glamorous and nice as it looks. Not so. You guys were always baking. So, that little baking powder is that little word, no, in your life. The moment you start putting it as an ingredient in most of these things that you're doing in your life, you will see your life pop. You will see people treating you the way you ought to be treated. You will see yourself getting more confidence in the decisions that you're making. You will also see that, man, life is getting in order because you are prioritizing the things that ought to be prioritized in your life compared to others. Now, of course, like I have emphasized, you need to say no wiser. And the more no's you say, the stronger your backbone will become. And of course, ultimately, it will be like the fuel in this car of yours called your life. And of course, not just your financial life, but your life in general. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of homework for the Christians. You can go to Matthew chapter 5, verses 37. Matthew 5:37, which will tell you more about being as simple as possible. You just say yes or no. Wiser. Okay. Then Romans 12:2 reminds us not to conform to the standards of this world, others, etc., but to transform. Are we together? You were created to transform and thrive. So do some research, read more. Romans 12:2. Then Isaiah 41:10. I know, like Yusuf had mentioned, it is, you find that sometime you have fear. Okay, yeah, I'm talking verses and this is Yusuf, but yeah, let's take the lesson, okay? Now, just fear not, because God will strengthen you. So pray more about this and try to be a little bit stronger in being firm about how you are treated, how you treat yourself, and how you live your life. So see how to squeeze in the no in the different aspects of your life. As we started, I had asked you to share the points in your life where you said yes, but now you're thinking, I should have said no. Okay, you may not be brave to share the exact situation, but what can we put? Okay, for those that have, that feel that there is something I need to say no. Just put yes and then put ... to the no. Okay, yes, no. Yes, there's a situation I need to say more, no. So just say yes, ... no. And we shall know that at least there is a point in your life that you're planning to improve. Now, if you have any questions about what we have talked about, feel free to post them in the comments. Yeah, that brings us to the end of our talk today. Thank you for following. Of course, last Sunday, we recognized the previous Sundays, we recognized our Bemw assistants. We looked at the Chambergo University Club. We thanked them so much. Our circle members and the WhatsApp group members that are active. Actually, for those that want to join the WhatsApp group, kindly post your number in the comments and we shall take you through the process. Then today, I would like to recognize a special group of people who have been not just my advisors, but they have also volunteered to help me out a lot in passing on the messages that I pass across. And I'm hoping that as we grow in this journey, they remain by our side in Bemw, continue to advise us and continue to strengthen our decision making. So I'd like to thank Dr. and Mrs. Kagwa. I would like to thank Hadija Miro, who is currently not feeling well, but she's so much in our prayers and I'm hoping that she gets better. She has been such an inspiration to me and to all of us here at Bemw, and she's really in my prayers and in our prayers as she handles the journey to her recovery. She's in our prayers. I thank Moses to your agenda. I thank you so much for your support and your commitment to this. Caroline, Peter, Mrs. Lubwama, thank you so much. And I am so grateful that you have been supporting in the activities that I'm trying to roll out. And I'm hoping that as we go on through this journey, we can transform not just our lives, but the lives of the people willing to get onto this journey. It is your decision to get onto this journey and for you to make a deliberate effort. You know, Bemw helps you help yourself. Are we together? We help you to help yourself. So most people get on board Bemw thinking that someone is going to solve your problems. No. It is you to help yourself, but Be Money Wiser will be a stepping stone to help you make sound decisions in your life and in the decisions that you're making. So for the rest of us, you can join us every Sunday. We are here every Sunday from 3 p.m. Ugandan time, because I know some of you are from other countries, but join us 3 p.m. Uganda time. Okay, you can Google that and align the time zones, but it is 3 p.m. every Sunday. This talk will continue. For those that want to join the WhatsApp group, post your number and we shall get in touch with you. Those that would like a copy of that book, Restructuring by JK, please let me know. Let us know in the comments so that we can reach out to you and get you a copy at only 50,000 shillings. If you're not in Uganda, discuss and see how best it can be posted to you. A copy of the book Restructuring, and then if you need further interaction with the author to see how to transform your organization, you can also let us know. And of course, today we have emphasized the aspects of risk management, and you can always get back to us to see if we can play a role in helping you out in your organizations to manage risk better, and also to appreciate how you can move on through this COVID period. Of course, the discussion continues. Send us a message on our Facebook page, and as we go on, I'm hoping that we can always endeavor to be money wiser. Thank you all that have followed today, that have joined us today. We thank you for your commitment to our journey as Be Money Wiser, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to join us next Sunday. So thank you so much. God bless you. Enjoy the week. Make sound decisions. See places where you can say no throughout this week, and may God bless you, and in everything, all the works of your hands, let them be blessed, both for you, your families, and for your loved ones. Enjoy your Sunday, and thank you so much. Bye.